Assalamu alaikum students. So this is the second part of the lesson, third part of the lesson of political science, the post-World War political developments. Now in this lesson, the creation of military organization. During the Cold War, both the superpowers means America and Soviet Union, now Russia. They created military organization. The respective superpowers took up the responsibility of the security of the countries joining the military organization led by them. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was a military organization under the dominance of America, while the Warsaw Pact was a military organization under the command of the Soviet Union. Biopolarization of the world. During the Cold War, most countries of the world joined either of two superpower blocs. Such a division of the nations of the world into two groups is biopolarization. The scope of the Cold War increased due to this. The spheres of tension spread. Arms race. The superpower started producing arms on a large scale to outsmart each other. This started a rivalry to make more and more destructive weapons and to acquire the technology required for the same. But soon both the superpowers realized that the arms race may endanger international peace. Hence, efforts towards arms control and disarmament also happened during this period. A creation of regional organization. Developing nations creating regional organization at the regional level in order to ensure mutual cooperation in the context of the superpower rivalry. They felt that economic development was more important. European countries came together and formed the European Economic Community, while the Southeast Asian countries, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, established the Association of Southeast Asian Nation, ASEAN. Then next, non-alignment. In the period of the Cold War, while the world was becoming bipolar, there were some countries which did not want to join the superpower rivalry. Such nations decided to stay out of the Cold War rivalry. Their policy known as non-alignment. Non-alignment was an important movement during the Cold War. Non-alignment movement, the Asian and African countries which became independent after the Second World War supported the idea of non-alignment. This movement started from 1961 under the leadership of India's Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, President of Yugoslavia Marshal Tito, President of Egypt Gamal Abdel Nasser, President of Indonesia Dr. Sukarno, and Prime Minister of Ghana Dr. Tembe Nurga. So this non-alignment movement was very successful because the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has India's continued to actively support the movement afterward as well. Even after the end of the Cold War, the importance of the movement has not reduced. The non-alignment movement is based on an internal principle of humanism, global peace and equality. It has inspired the less developed countries to come together. It has encouraged the resolution of international dispute by peaceful means while taking a firm stand on disarmament, fostering human rights. The non-aligned movement but for the problem of poor, undeveloped country firmly. This movement made a demand of new international economic order. New. Similarly, the significance of non-aligned movement has not reduced even if the Cold War is over. It inspired the less developed countries to come together. It brought several new streams of economic and social changes into international policies. It gave these countries the confidence to assert themselves with self-respect in international policies. In history, we will learn about this more. We will talk about SAARC, East Asian companies, and many more in the next lesson. Till read the lesson, and Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.